Hello, welcome.
Here we are again by the Christmas tree, the little baby Christmas
Yes.
tree. It's so lovely.
So dear.
So dear. So dear. Oh dear.
Oh dear, right.
Oh dear. We are having a fun time doing this, as you can probably tell, which is not to diminish the seriousness of the season.
No, of course not. Of course not.
We're still hanging on to a little bit of joy.
Yes, well, and you had said in an earlier conversation that a little bit of humor is the leavening that makes things, well, you didn't say that, but
no, I didn't. That's a big word for me.
That makes things lighter and easier.
Right. However, we need that because life is messy.
Indeed.
I have very mixed feelings at this point at the season when none of the words of the Advent candle really are resonating terribly well. And there are days when, I feel a little hopeless. There are days when I certainly don't feel the joy. But generally, I have loved what Kate Bowler does mostly with this. And you've heard us say that. However, today I want to tell you just a little bit about something that Diane Butler Bass did. She talked about Jesus' birth and said, birth is messy. Life is messy. I mean, the whole story is a big mess because it's human. And that's really been hard for me to kind of come to terms with. I am not as prepared as I usually am for Christmas, and it has been fraught with difficulties from my brother-in-law's diagnosis to the fact that a present hasn't arrived that was my big exciting present to give this year, and it's probably not going to arrive now. So anyway, life is messy and Advent is messy, but love comes anyway. And what we've discovered this year, particularly this week, what I'm discovering is that we're not working necessarily on linear time. We're working on God's time, Kairos time, where this might be the week of love, that love comes down at Christmas, and that doesn't change. Love does come down at Christmas. But also, we don't do anything in a terribly orderly fashion in the spiritual life. And Linda wants to talk a little about that too.
I do. I also want to mention that when you were talking about the birth of Jesus, I also want to mention that the thought that we individually are pregnant with possibilities right now. And we are waiting for those to be brought to fruition as well. And that is, as you said, a messy process. And, the birth pangs can be serious, painful in order to do that. And so it is also on other levels with the world, with our nation, with in groups, in friend groups or whatever. There are to bring forth something new and meaningful often is messy, painful, and takes much longer than you would like it to.
Right.
So that's the way of the world, I guess, is what I heard in what you were saying.
Right.
Yes, and as far as the linear time, for sure, I am finding this year, yes, it is the week of love. Yes, I enjoy the invitation to focus on one word or one aspect of the season every week. But for instance, this week, sorry, this week, I'm always about love. That's not the issue. But I guess this whole season for me is a season of figuring out internal peace. I'm waiting in an Advent way. I'm waiting for interior peace, and from that peace, which is kind of at the fundamental level internally for me, I hope to be able to hear or be given or take clarity for myself on a whole host of things. But this season is very different for me. This Advent season and this Christmas is going to be very different for me because of a change in life circumstance. And so it's interesting that while that has its difficulties, it's
because nobody likes change.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But what it's giving me is, since I'm not hosting this year, since I don't have small children this year, a lot of those jobs that come with those things have fallen away. And so that is giving me more peace this season so that I can listen, so that I can interiorly listen. And I know that even though I couldn't tell you exactly the fruit that is bearing right now, I know something is happening, you know, and that is both painful and exciting.
Yeah, and it's difficult to wait like that, and especially when you're used to having more control than we presently have of circumstances. You know, I was bemoaning the messiness of my life, and right now when I arrived here to talk with Linda, and she reminded me that you know, this is about stuff I can't control. I can't control the delivery of that gift. I can't control if somebody's trying to scam me. I can't control the progress of a disease. I can't control. I can't.
Right.
What can I do? Came to me this week with something from Diana Butler. No, it wasn't. It was Kate Bowler. Sorry. Keep my notes handy. She said, love, excuse the glasses, love comes to the unfinished, the unwrapped, the undone. And then I wrote in my journal, and the undelivered. And then a little later on she wrote, you are already ready for Christmas. Now, in cultural terms, no, I'm not. But Linda has pointed out that the work of birth and rebirth and creation and inner growth is always happening. And if we make room for what Kate says, love anyway.
Yes.
You know, I even have a sticker that says that in my car that comes from a charity and organization that I support, and it stares me in the face. And did I even notice it? You know, no. I'm just suddenly realizing, no, that's on your dashboard, Margaret. Yeah. Love anyway. And it's not anything I can do. It's about love in me and letting it work in me, like Linda's working on the peace.
That's not something I'm affecting.
Right. It's grace. It's a it's kind of a given kind of a thing.
Yeah, a gift.
A gift. Right. Right.
That's right.
Yeah. And before we offer you one of Kate's blessings, We wanted just to thank you for letting us into your space and to say Merry Christmas, of course.
Merry Christmas.
But we will do another one video while we're still in the season of Christmas. So watch for one more.
Yes.
And give us some feedback on anything that works or doesn't work or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. You want to read that one?
Sure.
The blessing?
So from Kate Bowler this week. Blessed are we who believe that love, no matter how small, is enough to remake the world. Blessings on your Christmas. Blessings on your time, no matter how you spend it and with whom. We are grateful that you are interested in speaking with us. Yes, speaking with us about these things that are so seem so life-giving to us.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Live and love and make peace. Anyway. Merry Christmas.